Why we were born to create, a deep exploration of human purpose. Intro. Have you ever paused long enough to ask yourself, why am I drawn to create? Why does your soul feel stirred when you hear a powerful piece of music? Why do your fingers itch to sketch, to write, to build, to dream? It's not just a passing impulse. It's not just a pastime or a hobby. It's something much deeper than that. It's something ancient, something sacred, something encoded into your very being. We were born to create. Not just a few of us, not just the painters or poets or musicians, all of us. Every person, no matter where they're from, how they were raised, or what they've been told, has something inside them that longs to build, to shape, to bring something new into the world. You were born with that gift. And in this hour, we're going to uncover why. Why your desire to create is not only natural, but necessary. Why it's a compass pointing toward your truest self. Why the world desperately needs what only you can make. And why your voice, your story, your vision matter more than you know. Creation is not just an act, it's a language. It's how we speak to the world, to each other, and to ourselves. When we create, we are not just decorating life, we are defining it. And when we ignore that call to create, something within us slowly goes silent. We lose touch with that inner spark. But the moment we begin again, even in the smallest way, that spark reignites. It's like remembering a song you've always known, but somehow forgot how to sing. This is your permission to return to it, not because you need validation or profit or perfection, but because this is what you were made to do. Create, not to impress, but to express, to explore, to become. The creative wiring. Let's start with biology, with your brain. Because before we dive into the soul of creativity, we need to understand something very practical. You were literally designed to create. From the moment you're born, your brain begins forming billions of connections. It starts with imagination, before language, before logic. Children play, pretend, draw, because that's how they process the world. And here's what's incredible. That doesn't stop when you grow up. You don't outgrow creativity, you just learn to suppress it, because school taught you to color inside the lines, because work taught you to follow systems, not feelings, because the world taught you to fear failure more than to pursue passion. But your brain hasn't forgotten. Every time you create, whether it's a sketch, a song, a business, or a breakthrough, you fire up neural pathways that bring your whole mind online. You access parts of yourself that lie dormant when you're just consuming. You weren't built just to absorb. You were built to output, to take what's within you and give it form. And there's a reward built into the process: dopamine, flow state, mental clarity. That peaceful high you feel when you're immersed in creativity, that's your brain saying, this is good, keep going. Our brains crave novelty and meaning, and creation provides both. It's not just about the end product, it's the process that brings fulfillment. The trial, the error, the exploration, the breakthrough. This neurological wiring makes creativity not just possible, but necessary to mental wellness. Consider this. Studies show that engaging in creative activity even just once a day can significantly boost your mood. Not because of success or productivity, but because of connection to self, to time, to purpose. This is why art therapy exists. This is why journaling heals. This is why a moment of stillness with a guitar or a canvas can feel more refreshing than hours of rest. Creation calms the nervous system. It recenters your mind. It grounds your awareness in the present moment. And the best part, you don't need to be talented to feel the benefits. You just need to be willing to explore, willing to try, willing to begin. You were born to create, and your brain has never stopped waiting for you to return to that truth. The historical drive. Creativity isn't some modern invention. It's not a luxury of those with free time or privilege. It's the very foundation of human civilization. Before we had governments, industries, or economies, we had stories, we had songs, we had symbols carved into stone, painted on cave walls, etched into time. Why? Because humans have always needed more than food and shelter. We've always needed meaning, and meaning is born through creation. The earliest tools weren't just functional, they were designed with care. The earliest rituals weren't just practical, They were creative expressions of faith, fear, and hope. Even the wheel, the fire, the spear, these were born from imagination. Look around today and you'll see the legacy of that creative drive. Every building, every bridge, every symphony, every smartphone. They're all the result of someone asking, what if? What's possible? What can I make that's never existed before? That same question lives inside you. That same instinct, because you don't just inherit DNA, you inherit desire to shape, to build, to express. You come from a long line of creators. You are the continuation of that legacy. And every time you create, you're not just making something new. You're honoring something ancient. In every culture across the globe, creation is revered. Whether it's through dance, through architecture, through storytelling, cultures grow around what they make. Artifacts are not just remnants of history, they're evidence of human longing. And that longing? It's still here, in you. Whether you acknowledge it or not, it pulls at your spirit. Because your ancestors didn't survive just to work and sleep. They survived to express, to mark their existence with beauty, rhythm, color, and story. To create is to claim your space in time, to say, I was here. Not in ego, but in meaning, in voice, in presence. We often think legacy is about money, fame, or achievements. But real legacy is what you leave behind that speaks to your soul. Your creativity is that legacy in motion. It's the thread that connects you to every creator who came before and everyone who will come after. You are part of something much bigger, something vast, eternal, and beautiful. You were born to create, and your story is part of the human story still being written. Creation is communication. What happens when you create? Something deeper than expression. You connect. Words can be limited. Sometimes they fail us. But a painting, a melody, a short film, these things can bypass logic and speak straight to the heart. Creation lets us say what we often don't know how to say. It's not just about showing the world what you can do. It's about sharing what you feel. Every person you admire, every artist, writer, designer, architect, they were once just someone feeling deeply and choosing to shape those feelings into something others could feel too. Think about the last time you heard a song that gave you goosebumps, or watched a film that stayed with you long after it ended. That's what creation does. It forms invisible bridges between minds, between hearts, between souls. And it's why your art, however small or unseen, is never wasted. Because even if it doesn't reach millions, it might reach one. And that one might need it more than you'll ever know. Your truth, your pain, your joy, it deserves to live outside of you, not just for healing, but for connection. Because someone, somewhere, is waiting to feel understood. When you create, you offer a mirror, a reflection of something human, raw and real, something that others can see themselves in. In a world where so many feel isolated, unseen, or misunderstood, your creation becomes an invitation. Come in. Sit with this. You're not alone. Art can do what speeches and arguments cannot. It softens resistance. It opens hearts. It awakens empathy. And we need more of that now than ever before. You don't need a massive audience for your creativity to matter. Even a whisper of truth spoken authentically can echo in someone's soul for a lifetime. Create not for applause, but for connection. Create not to impress, but to invite. Create not because the world demands it, but because your heart does. Your voice matters. Your story matters. What you make matters. Not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. And in creating, you're not just communicating with others. You're communicating with yourself. You're saying, I am here. I have something to say. And I will not be silent.